What is going on, everybody? This is NGS. Welcome back to another video. Time for another roundtable discussion on something that is, once again, breaking news. So PlayStation Experience just wrapped up their annual conference where they show off a lot of new things related to PlayStation, and one of the announcements that they unveiled, actually a bombshell, was within the first 5 minutes of the show. I think they opened it, was a brand new gameplay trailer for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Back at E3, Square-Enix unveiled that they were indeed remaking Final Fantasy VII, and since then, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the game. You know, this is a game that's almost 20 years old. It will be 20 years old in just 2 years, and there were a lot of concerns from the fan base on how they would approach this. Are they going to modernize it for the new audience? Are they going to keep it classic and keep what really made it such a landmark game? And we finally got our first look at what this remake will, eventually end up to be. And to join me in discussing this gameplay trailer, I've got some special guests. First and foremost, new to this channel, I've got my boy Ryan Ziegler, aka Shadow Slayer on PlayStation Network. How you doing, Ryan?
Don't remind me. Oh, jeez. I got my fucking... I'm doing very good. I am more optimistic about this trailer than I think most people are, and I have my reasons for it, and we will discuss it.
Sweetness. Of course, longtime friend, got Dante86. What's going on, bro?
What up, what up, what up? Ready to discuss what we saw today. I'm just going to keep it right here.
And somebody who you guys have been getting on my case 24/7. It was one of the top comments on the last video I did about getting more special guests on this channel. The one and only undisputed king of Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, Zobe70. What's up, bro?
NeoGameSpark. I secretly hate you. You know why?
Oh, here we go.
Ain't a secret.
It's a secret. I secretly hate you. Why? Because people come to me and say, "Why can't you be more like NeoGameSpark?" I'm not NeoGameSpark, okay? I'm Zobe70.
What a way to start the video. So, gents, I'm gonna leave this up to you. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's start with Ryan, because we started with Shadow Slayer, so let's see how he thought of the game. What'd you think about it, bro?
Okay, I should probably start this off by saying I've never beaten a Final Fantasy game. I've never been really too into that. It's kind of I was born in '97, so I wasn't even one when that game came out. The only turn-based RPG I ever beat was Pokemon, and so I'm a little bit more optimistic about this game. Like the gameplay, I don't really have any special connection to it, and I am a big Kingdom Hearts fan, and that does look like Kingdom Hearts. So I can understand why people will be upset that the gameplay is changing. Like, it's a remake, people want it to be a shot-for-shot remake, but Nomura said himself this isn't going to be a shot-for-shot remake. If it was a shot-for-shot remake, they wouldn't need me to be directing it. And I think it's more accessible to more people who just want to experience the story and be part of the discussion of the legacy of this game. So I don't think that we should be shitting on it yet.
Interesting viewpoint. Jamal, what did you think about this?
As someone who is honestly the complete opposite of that, I played the original, not right when it came out, but I played through when I was probably in middle school. Enjoyed the gameplay, enjoyed the strategy and everything, and when they announced it at E3, I was already kind of thinking we'll see what happens. I need to see gameplay before I get super excited about it. Today we saw the gameplay, and yeah, as Ryan said, it looks like Kingdom Hearts. You know me, huge Kingdom Hearts fan, but I also like my turn-based RPGs, and I just feel like them changing the battle system. And granted, we don't know a lot of what else is happening with it and the intricacies behind it, but what it's doing right now, and just from the surface, not very happy about what I saw. It'll be fun. It will be fun, but it's not what I wanted.
Sweet. And Zobe, I know you've shared some pretty strong feelings towards this game and the PlayStation Experience conference as a whole. So, unfiltered, what did you think about the Final Fantasy VII pre-alpha gameplay trailer?
Coming from a guy who grew up, I played Final Fantasy VII when it came out. I remember me and my cousins, we got together and we sat in the basement. And we every time we died, we would pass the controller. And not only that, we were cheating. We had the fucking instruction manuals with us. And we were sitting there, we was just experimenting this turn-based strategy RPG. Like this game right here is literally what made Zobe 70. I mean, like, this game right here, the original version is what made me love JRPGs to this day. This game right here is what got me into my favorite fucking video game of all time, and that is Xenogears. And you mean to tell me that... And the game was already streamlined for its time compared to the RPGs before it. Or people will say Final Fantasy VI. But now you took this game and you streamlined it even fucking more. You have literally... People are saying that it's just like Kingdom Hearts. It looked like Uncharted to me.
Whoa.
It was literally,
Dang, bro.
I literally just seen Cloud walking straight. That was it. I seen him going under a fucking piece of a rock, climbing over things. I'm like, what? Go, Dante, what did he say?
I say it.
Oh, that's somebody was saying.
Nah,
No, I just said, oh boy.
You good,
He was
bro.
climbing over shit. I said, what the fuck happened to fucking Final Fantasy? It's like, this is the reason why Neo and Dante, I was shitting on Kingdom Hearts over the years, because I knew when it came to Square-Enix, they're going to take the same template and make it for every single fucking game for the future. There will be no more creativity coming out of fucking Square fucking Enix. This is the reason why I didn't want to promote Final Fantasy 13, because I knew Square Enix is going to take this shit and make it the future of fucking Square Enix. And now we're coming all the way back to Final Fantasy 7, one of the greatest fucking video games of all time. 8, whatever, okay, it's debatable if it is or not, but it is for me. And you streamline this shit so you can catalyze this bullshit to the Uncharted Call of Duty fuckboys. This game is complete shit.
Well, alrighty. So, I guess I'll chime in and kind of share my thoughts.
Yeah, please. I want to hear your thoughts on Final Fantasy.
Okay.
I don't think that's the official title.
All right. To share my thoughts on Final Fantasy. Basically, I'm kind of in the middle when it comes to this. First and foremost, I'm very indifferent to Final Fantasy VII. I mean, compared to a lot of people, it's one of their favorite games of all time. A lot of people think it's the best RPG of all time. Me personally, I kind of played it well after the fact. I appreciate the game for what it did, and it still holds up as a very good video game. But for me, it just wasn't as... it didn't really hold my attention as much as something like Legend of Dragoon. But, you know, that's regardless. That's personal preference. When we're seeing all these video game remakes come out of classic titles, I just always get worried because it's usually a new team behind it. They don't know what they're doing. But with the Final Fantasy VII Remake having the original people behind it, I kind of got excited that, okay, this is going to be a JRPG return to form for mainstream turn-based games. Because, I mean, a lot of stuff are trying to do action now. Because JRPGs kind of lost their identity within the past. I think you guys agree with this. Like, past generation or so, JRPGs, while there have been a lot of good ones, they just haven't had, like, the same lasting appeal as stuff from, like, the PS2 and the PS1 era. I think we can all agree on that.
You really see that in Final Fantasy 13. Like, that's basically, if you could describe what has happened to JRPGs this generation, you point someone to that game.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, I don't want to say that all JRPGs are like that, but the mass majority of them, yeah, you can find some rare gems, and I mean...
Neil, I agree with you on the Final Fantasy 13, but Persona is the template. I mean, I know it didn't sell as well as the Final Fantasy 13, but Persona should be the template for what RPGs need to be in the future. But go ahead.
No doubt about that. Yeah, like I was saying, like if you're looking at the mainstream success of JRPGs, like stuff coming from Square-Enix, stuff coming from the head honchos, the support really isn't there. So that's why you go for alternatives. Guys like Atlas, guys like NIS, like all these guys putting out these JRPGs.
If it wasn't for Atlas, RPGs would be dead right now. It'll be so. I mean, you know, not aspect of mainstream. I'm just talking about the hardcore JRPG fans. That's why I can't talk shit about Persona 4. I never will. If kids in the future talk about, it's, you know, because we played it today and we love Persona, so you know the next generation is going to play and be like, I don't see what the big deal is. The same thing I'm hearing when it comes to Final Fantasy 7. But I'm trying to tell you, Final Fantasy at its time, at its core, 7. that game, like the atmosphere, it just had it. When I looked at this, I said it doesn't have it anymore. But go keep going. I'm sorry.
No problem. You good, Zobe. You good. Yeah, so people have been looking for alternatives to the mainstream, and when you see that a big RPG is making a return with Final Fantasy VII, I thought to myself personally, all right, this is Square-Enix trying to make a comeback. I mean, they've done so many things in the past couple of years that have been good. So them bringing back turn-based as the forefront, man, this is going to be crazy. But when we hear stuff like, oh, we don't know if it's going to be turn-based or real-time, we're going to wait to see, that kind of did hit home to me because Final Fantasy Versus 13 was a game I was really looking forward to, and it's been almost 10 years since its inception, and honestly, the game really doesn't look as appealing as it did like back in 2008, back in 2010. So with them going this more action route, I'm kind of concerned because on the one hand, yes, I love Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite franchises. I love the gameplay. It's fantastic. And I understand that a lot of people are saying that this is originally what Nomura wanted with Final Fantasy Versus 13 before it got changed, and there's whole controversy behind that. But to the same degree, I don't think you should forgo what made Final Fantasy VII great. I think there's this notion going on within the JRPG bashing community that turn-based combat is dead. Nobody likes turn-based. You can't do as much with turn-based as you can do with real-time. I personally disagree, you know?
Persona got something to say about that.
Yeah, like Persona, you know, not to keep bringing it up, but it's a very good turn-based JRPG. And it's just something that's kind of... I don't know if it's just because a lot of these people want something action-y, they want something in their face, they want something new, but I definitely think you could release a turn-based, high-budget, high-profile JRPG in the year 2017 when this probably will come out.
Neil, it's not to cut you up, but I agree with everything you're saying. And it's like, but RPGs are not Call of Duty. We can't take the Call of Duty template and bring it to JRPGs. We can't say Call of Duty successful, so guess what? Battlefield, we're going to copy that. Star Wars, we're going to copy Call of Duty. Resident Evil, we're going to copy Call of Duty. We can't bring that mentality to these JRPGs. JRPGs to me was always cool to me because, okay, you had Kingdom Hearts. Okay, that's cool. That's its own league. Then you got Final Fantasy VII. Then you got Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger. They're all different in their own separate ways. Why do we have to copy Kingdom Hearts to be credible game?
Well, to be fair, we've only seen like a total like maybe 10 seconds of gameplay. This is a very pre-alpha, early build. This game's only been in development for like a year. It's a super early vertical slice.
Yeah, that's the same thing they said about Final Fantasy 13.
Well, that is kind of true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking specifically on the gameplay portion, I'll let you lead off with this, Dante86. There are a lot of similarities to Kingdom Hearts. The command menu, for one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that we looked at while we were watching. And when I went back and looked at it, I saw that if you look at the command menus on the side, it's just like Kingdom Hearts, where you have the attack slot, you have magic, you have summon, items, and defend. And, you know, while that is good in Kingdom Hearts, I love that style, and that was probably one of the best styles for action RPG that I have played, and getting through menus and everything. It's, once again, it takes away all of the strategy. Well, it not takes it away, but it gives you a different kind of strategy. And it's going to turn into a hit X to win. Oh, I'm dying. Let me call a summon and blah, 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 you know? And the other part that we still have yet to see is how they're going to do materia. Because, you know, Final Fantasy VII was all about customization and making whatever character do whatever you want them to be. Because Final Fantasy, up until that point, everybody was all about classes. You had a white mage, black mage, blah, blah, blah. They did their specific things. This one, you chose what you wanted them to do based on, you know, what materia you gave them. And I don't see how they're going to make that work. And it's so streamlined. Yeah. And I think that now in these days, they don't want it to be... They don't want the materia system and all the customization to scare people away. They don't want the menus to scare people away. But for those of us who enjoy that kind of gameplay and enjoy being able to customize and do what we want to do, it's like I don't see how it's going to happen now. I really don't.
I feel like one of the biggest reasons for this change was you could kind of see this in the Final Fantasy VII re-release on PC. I was talking about this before we started recording. How there's a boost button that automatically boosts your character. And the reason for this is we want you to continue the story. We want you to experience the story. That seems like it's their most important part of Final Fantasy VII. They want you to finish this game, and they want you to experience the story. I think that might have been
people to have to grind anymore.
Right, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why they decided on this battle system.
But that's not a video game. A video game is supposed to challenge you. What is going on? What are we talking about here? Why are we taking the challenge out of a video game?
That's definitely a good point. I mean, you see a lot of video games nowadays trying to appeal to the masses. I think, what was it, Mortal Kombat X gave you an option to skip the gameplay and get to the story for its campaign. Something crazy like that I remember hearing about it.
I think you can buy fatality tokens to do fatalities for you.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Nintendo games now. If you die enough, they give you hey, beat this level immediately for like Mario and Donkey Kong.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
but Nintendo was smart enough to say if you do
it's
this,
an option.
Yeah, if you do this, you can't get the gold for that stage.
You don't get credit for it.
You can't.
But we're just seeing this mentality of people, of developers, like scared in their boots of people not finishing these games.
Oh my god! I don't think it's about the money. It's not even about the finishing the games.
It's all about appealing to a mass majority, and in a lot of cases, if it means streamlining the game so everybody can play it and they see that it's action packed. And I mean, just looking at the game, it looks very good for a pre-alpha. I mean, it looks very fun.
Most
and if we were to play it right now, I'm sure we would enjoy it. But the fact remains, Final Fantasy VII was a great game, and you don't need to take turn-based away from it. I mean, like, it just seems to me that this is him wanting to do Versus 13. And I mean, cool, awesome, but do you really have to bring Final Fantasy VII into that? And I know someone's going to say, well, this isn't invalidating Final Fantasy VII's existence. We know it's not. Everybody knows it's not. But the fact remains, why are you remaking a game and giving it a completely different gameplay style? That
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. And you could do a lot more cinematic turn-based combat. I mean, you could just take like the Final Fantasy 13 style of things, not counting the gameplay, not counting all that, but you can take that turn-based system and make it work for this remake. Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like they're just, because they know a mass majority wants Final Fantasy VII. They know a mass majority likes action-packed stuff. So, hey, let's put two and two together and hopefully sells. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is just very early footage. Obviously, we have not seen the full game in action. It probably won't be till E3 next year. But in closing, I got to say that even though a lot of us are kind of pessimistic about it, I mean, the game itself looks good. We're just kind of worried about the mentality that is permeating the current gaming industry, where it feels like, oh, you have to go action-packed. You have to make this like Kingdom Hearts just so the game will sell. Ryan, if you want to start out, and then we'll go from you to Jamal to Zobe. Final thoughts on this?
I think your enjoyment on this game is going to heavily depend on if you played the original or not, and how you go into this game and your mindset going into it.
Jamal?
Yeah, I mean, off of that too, I mean, I think that it can be enjoyed by anybody, to be completely honest. Like I said, I don't really agree with them changing it up, but it's gonna have fun gameplay. I'm not gonna say it's not. It looks good. It looks like a fun game. The integrity of Final Fantasy VII has just been kind of messed up, and that's the only thing that frustrates me about it. But will it be fun? Yeah. Will I get it? Yeah. But stop changing it. It's nothing wrong with it.
Zobe, take us home.
Yeah, I don't think it looks good. I don't think it looks fun. I mean, the graphics look cute. That's adorable. But it's like, I mean, like, for the past, how many years you said? It was almost 20 years? For the past 20 years, this was not what I envisioned. I know it's not about what I thought, but not even me. Even the people that I sat around with in the group, in the real world, before it was the internet, before the fucking YouTube, we sat around and thought about what a Final Fantasy remake would look like today. And that is far from it. It looks like, I mean, like what Dante said about the whole materia system, that has to go. That's not going to work for this system. How is this going to work? I mean, listen, Persona 5 is the new RPG king, yo. The Persona series, whatever fucking Shin Megami Tensei makes, that's it. Get out of Square-Enix and get out now, unless, it's just some type of...
I would say that instead of remake, I should call this a reimagining, because that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna keep the main story. It's probably gonna introduce some of the stuff that happened in like Crisis Core and all the other related Final Fantasy VII spin-offs, and integrate that into the story to make it flow better. And in that case, I think I'm more excited about the story than I am the gameplay. But if you look at this as a reimagining, not a remake, not a remaster of a PlayStation 1 port that's going on PS4 for $16, I cannot believe they did that, I think you're going to find some enjoyment in it. But guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. I'm a GS signing off for Dante86, Zobe70, and Shadow Slayer.
Oh.
Thanks for having me on.
Catch you guys later. Peace.